Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and I'm speaking to you from one of the many beautiful beaches in the sacred west of Ireland, near where Maggie and I have our healing centre. And I'm telling you about one of my Druid Forest School courses. And there are courses to meet the gods and goddesses of the ancient Irish, courses to learn the Ogham, the mystical tree alphabet of the ancient Irish Druids. There are Druid mystical energy work courses, and there are courses to meet and work with the 4 sacred weapons. And basically, each of the 4 sacred weapons has, I give you information, but each of them has audio journeys, mystical audio journeys that you can do. And you write back to me telling me how you got on with these most important principles in our lives. And I read what you say. I cross-refer to your astrology because I work worldwide also as a Western astrologer, that's psychodynamic and evolutionary astrology, and also as a Vedic astrologer, the astrology of ancient India, which is supremely vast and powerful, and which is orientated to our incarnational life purpose and all the circumstances we attract in this life to progress our incarnational life purpose, the reason we were born. So, I'm telling you about one of the audios that you get if you enroll on my 4 Sacred Weapons course. The 4 Sacred Weapons of the Tuatha De Danaan, also known as the 4 Jewels sometimes. So what happened was, the Tuatha De Danaan lived here in the pure beauty of the Irish land and its high earth energies, but they were driven out because a dominant people, the Fomorians, had gone increasingly dark, twisted and evil, exploitative personalities. And so the Tuatha De Danaan went on a long voyage of exile into the Mediterranean and the Atlantic seaboard. They learned great skills of magic and craft. They were a supremely capable, intelligent, visionary people, and they were one with their gods. And as I said, I teach a course where you can meet the gods and goddesses of the Tuatha De Danaan. That too is on my Druid Forest School website. But then they were asked by the gods to return to Ireland, to restore Ireland to the beauty and purity of the divine intention that existed at the moment of creation. And so they came, they landed fairly near here in the west of Ireland and fought a great battle just over there, the Second Battle of Moytura, a most beautiful sight of amazing energies. And this audio journey that you get, it's just one of the introductory audios to the 4 Sacred Weapons course, asks you to stand on the beach of Killary Harbour where I believe they landed. And you see the protective semicircle of mist that they create. And to your left is Crowpatrick Mountain with its seams of gold and its high energies and its recumbent dragon shape. And then you see the boats of the Tuatha De Danaan coming towards you, wicker boats covered in cowhide with a sail and oars. And then behind you on the beach, great goddess Danu materializes. Danu, mother of the people of the Tuatha De Danaan, mother of the land, mother of the gods. And then you see the boats arrive and disembark, and then one after the other, the 4 sacred weapons are brought to shore, and you get in the audio recording a deep personal connection to each of the 4 sacred weapons that you'll study in more detail, one after the other, in the 4 main modules of the course. And so, for example, the stone of Fal is brought off first and placed on the beach. No small task. And the stone of Fowl represents the energy of earth. And its prime role is about sovereignty, because you need sovereignty, I need sovereignty. And the stone of Fowl traditionally shrieked with joy when the rightful king of Ireland put his foot on it. And then the journey invites you to see how a ray portal reaches back to Fallias, one of the 4 cities that the Tuatha De Danaan visited in their endless voyaging of exile, where the eternal original of the stone of Fowl is kept, the emerald tablet. And you connect with the druid Magus, who rules the city. You connect in more detail with the earth energy. It's vast that the earth energy includes sovereignty, but of course it also includes wealth and opening to abundance and perceiving that there are different sorts of wealth. And so in fact the 4 weapons or jewels briefly are the stone of Fowl, and that is brought off under the supervision of the great Irish god Midir. Comes from Fallias, the druid master is Semias. But there's also the amazing, wonderful lightning shaft of the spear of Lu, Uranian energy. And that's brought off to this land. They arrived, I would say, 2,500 years ago by Lu. And that comes from Gorias, and the mage is Morphesa. Thirdly, there's the sword of Nuada. Now, the stone of Fowl was earth, the spear of Lu was fire, but the sword of Nuada is air. We need to be able to, absolutely, to cut words and speech and phenomena with discrimination, with the great sword. But it's more than that. It contains like a divine gift that you can use in vision ways to transform the way you're living and your consciousness at the moment. And the saying of the stone of Fowl is that no man can resist he who wields it, just as the saying for the spear of Lu is that no man can withstand it. And it was brought here to defeat Balor of the evil eye, the king of the Fomorians, who were wreaking such damage to the purity of this beautiful ancient land. And lastly, the cauldron of the Dagda is brought off. The city where the Tuatha De Danaan were given this earthly version is Murias. And of course the cauldron of the Dagda represents the element of water. And the cauldron of the Dagda is the gift of nurturance. We receive from the good God's cauldron the nurture we need. But more than that, it's death and rebirth. After the battles, the warriors could be dipped into the cauldron and they would be pulled out of it. They would arise reborn. And we all need to be reborn at times in our lives, good heavens. So I'll just ask Maggie to do a brief pan of this sacred landscape in a moment, so you can see over there Ben Bulben, which was like the place of the hosting of the Sidhe, supreme high land energies. Knocknarea, also in W.B. Yeats' poem The Hosting of the Sidhe. And as I said, this is one of the many utterly beautiful beaches just near where we live, where we also do Sacred West of Ireland tours, also on the Druid Forest School website. So have a brief look at the place where I was speaking from and hope to work with you on the Druid Forest School courses. Thank you.